Why
Well,
did you not make any more?
with Grimm,
Mm-hmm.
well, we did, but after the album came out, I mean, we promoted it a little. We thought we were gonna get rich like instantaneously. We thought everybody that was on the record shelves was just rich, and it didn't work like that.
Right.
So when the album came out, I ended up moving back to Freeport uh, to go work and make some more bread. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I had met Loco already at the time. So the plan was when I met Loco through, cause we used to do shows with Grimm, and we had did a party or a 16 at Sylvan Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's where we met. Where I met Mixed Color Mafia
Mm-hmm.
was Big C, Troublemaker, Loco,
Right.
and they had DJ Short Dog and Grimm and Loco ended up battling behind the Sylvan Beach. And I had liked Loco's fucking aggression, and they were going at it. So I hooked up with Loco. I moved to Freeport to buy a car because I didn't have a car. And Loco's plan was to get the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the car and moved back. Loco got the house in Houston, and I came back to H Town, and we started a group called Aggravated Mexicans or Aggravated Aztecs, something like it was Aggravated Mexicans or Aggravated Aztecs. And then our first show we went to do in Freeport on the billboard, it didn't have Aggravated Mexicans or Aggravated Aztecs. It said Aggravated.
Right.
When we drove up, like man, what the fuck? It says Aggravated on there, and where's the rest of the name at? But it looked kind of dope. And we said, fuck it, we're gonna just roll with Aggravated.
Mm.
Plus we had Loco in the group, so we couldn't beat Mexicans or
Right.
Aztecs, and fuck it, it was just weird anyway. So we stuck with Aggravated, and I ended up moving back to Pasadena with Loco, and we plotted up the Aggravated album.
Big shout out to Loco. Big shout out to Lord Loco.
Lord Loco, it's good, man.
Chill. Uh, so whenever in that era and y'all start creating and y'all start working and everything, and y'all start collaborating, what happens with Aggravated or Most Hated that y'all end up splitting?
Well, Aggravated started with I ended up going to my uncle in Freeport in Lake Jackson, and I showed him the numbers we were doing with Grimm's album. I said, look, I want to do a record company called Aggravated Records,
Mm-hmm.
and and so my uncle ended up buying me the new keyboard, the new shit. Every year they got new shit, so I got the new keyboard, and we ended up doing I'm Your Future
Mm-hmm.
and Creeping and 9 millimeter Glock and doing all the Aggravated shows. That's when Aggravated started popping in like '95,
95. Sounds about right?
and then Screw was already hot at the time, so we had paid Screw some money to come and jump on Screw Down I'm Your Future.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Klondike Cat was from Street Military. They had the song Aggravated Rasta. So
Mm-hmm.
Aggravated was what we were. We had to figure out what are we. So we sat back. We always aggravated. We going ag. So that was like the word back then. That was us. So we just Screw got on that I'm Your Future with Grimm and Klondike Cat and slowed it down. That was like our first big hit, local, you know, on the Aggravated album.
So, whenever everybody goes and parts ways with Aggravated and Most Hated, what year is that?
Aggravated lasted a year because we did real good on the Aggravated album. And then they came with the contracts because we didn't have contracts until after the album came out. For the second album, we had contracts. And there was so many members in our group that there was a lot of differences in what this guy wanted, what this guy wanted, what I thought was going to happen. And so Aggravated, our first album was called Accept.
Right.
So our second album was supposed to be called The Most Hated. We had bought these hats from Greenspoint Mall. It said Aggravated on top and The Most Hated right here. So, and we ended up recording the Aggravated album at Jam Down Records.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick Lewis was the CEO of Jam Down. He wanted to sign us because we didn't. We all officially some members signed the Aggravated contract, but it was supposed to be everybody signed it together at one time.
Right.
But there was like a couple of members. It might have been Slinky and a couple of other guys signed the contract before everybody else did. And there was a lot of issues with the contract, so I ended up burning the contract. I caught it on fire and shit, and My uncle came to Houston to get the contract. He's like, "Where's the contract at?" I said, "Well, it's in the backyard." Like, what you mean it's in the backyard? So he goes to the backyard and there's a pile of ashes on the floor, burned up contract.
He burned the contract.
Well, yeah, it was too much issue, so I burned the contract. So they ended up, I guess, making a new one, and they ended up making a fake aggravated group with troublemaker. We had voted him out the group like really quick. He missed some meetings or something like that. He missed like 3 meetings. You're gone. So he had missed a couple of meetings, so he was gone. But he went back to my uncle, and they did a aggravated album called "Ag State of Mind."
Okay.
And on the album cover, all you could see was like the glasses of the Lokes. They had got a new Lord Loco from Rosenberg. I think his name was Puff or something like that. And I think Dopey did the music from the Terrorists.
They tried to replace Loco.
Yeah, they tried to replace us all. You know, because I guess my uncle wanted another album, and they just got replacements, and you couldn't tell who was on the cover, and a lot of fans were disappointed and brought the record back, and we ended up with Jam Down as the most hated, and it was like a little beef between the fake aggravated and the most hated at car
Right.
shows and everything. It was crazy.
Wow. See, at that time, I can only imagine car shows and everything, all of that stuff was real big back in the day.
Oh
Like
yeah.
any car show would more than likely be sold out, and more than likely you would always link up or meet or see, run into all kind of different people, artists and all. So at that time with Jam Down and Shut 'em Down era, what happens?
Well, Shut 'em Down didn't start until like 2000. So we were on Jam Down from 95 to 2000, like 5 years.
Okay.
So we did, I think 2 more albums with Jam Down. We did the White Most Hated album, self-titled, and then we did No Rest for the Real album, and then we left the label in like 2000 or 99, end of 99. We
And
left
what
Jam
was the
Down.
reason y'all left Jam Down? Did it y'all
We
have a fallout or?
we ended up voting Grim out the group, believe it or
Oh,
not. When we were in Jam Down, his wife was like a big problem for our group at the time. She would come to shows, and any girl who touched Grim's hair, it was going down. It was
what?
something. It was a beer or a fight or some kind of drama.
I'm guilty because that's the first thing. Well, one of the first things I asked to do on 420, there was a show on 420, and I was like, "I'm sorry, but can I touch those? Are those real?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he pulled it out. I was like, I didn't know that was actually the.
His wife hated that girls was attracted to Grim, and it just became a big problem. They even like sent spies out to watch us out of town at the shows, and it was just became a headache. And so Grim went to Dope House, and we ended up leaving the label. Like fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And we started 713 Stunners,
Mm.
and but that didn't last long because the guys who put the money into it, they went to the feds or got locked up or some shit. And that's when I met D Town through Shut 'em Down Records, and
Detail.
that's when Shut 'em Down started right around 2000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, D Town was the truth. R.I.P. D Town, man.
R.I.P. D Town.
Yep. So,
R.I.P. D Town. So during that era, is a time that also Lil Bing comes into place.
well, Bing was always younger. He used to always hang out with us at the shows and get on stage, and you know, he started with us around 2000. I remember recording Bing at Jam Down Records, like freestyling, just getting them kind of broken into the mic and all that. We never put them freestyles out, but he wasn't nowhere near what the magic he has now,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But Shut 'em Down was a whole new era. And the first time I met D Town, I remember this. Well, D Town was always the big boss. Like he always had big things going on in the neighborhood, like big money, like millionaire type shit. And he always had like guys around him from Mexico. You couldn't even get close to D Town. But we ended up, linking up, and he took me straight to Guitar Center.
Mm.
And he said, "Whatever you want, just touch it, and I'm gonna buy everything you need."
What?
You know what I mean? So I went in Guitar Center. I need one of these, one of those. I need these. Everything that you needed. Every year you had new shit.
Yeah.
So he put us in an apartment, gave me a van, the whole studio shit, and we did Bring It to the Table, the
Mm.
first album that we did. and that one had like mafioso on it with Graham Bing, SPM, and it was basically the album was called Bring It to the Table, pretty much showcasing all the artists that we had. And after the Bring It to the Table was everybody's